imagine a high-stakes spy case collapsing because crucial evidence was withheld. Evidence that could have proven China's threat to national security. But here's where it gets controversial. The government's own security advisor is accused of playing a role in this decision. Now, the nation is left wondering, was justice obstructed? Or is there more to the story? Let's dive in. Earlier this week, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson reassured the public that Jonathan Powell, the Prime Minister's national security advisor, had no involvement in discussions about the evidence in the case against Christopher Cash and Christopher Berry. Both men, charged under the Official Secrets Act in April 2024, were accused of spying for China, allegations they vehemently deny. The charges were dropped last month, sparking outrage from ministers and MPs alike. And this is the part most people miss. The Conservatives have pointed fingers at Powell, suggesting he withheld evidence from prosecutors that could have secured convictions. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp went as far as calling for Powell's resignation if proven guilty. But Phillipson insists the Crown Prosecution Service CPS is best placed to explain why the case fell apart. Meanwhile, Downing Street has repeatedly denied ministerial involvement in the collapse. In a rare move, Stephen Parkinson, the Director of Public Prosecutions and head of the CPS, revealed the trial failed because the government didn't provide evidence explicitly labeling China as a national security threat during the 2021 to 2023 period. This has raised eyebrows as former Conservative ministers and advisors claim there's a document filled with hundreds of examples of Chinese activities threatening the UK, including a suspected hack on the Ministry of Defense. One source bluntly stated, no sane jury would ignore that evidence. The Conservatives have demanded answers, submitting an urgent question in Parliament. They argue that Powell, known for advocating closer ties with Beijing, failed to hand over critical evidence. The Prime Minister, however, has shifted the blame to the previous Conservative government stance, which described China as an epoch-defining challenge rather than an outright threat. You prosecute based on the circumstances at the time, he told reporters in India. Here's where it gets even more contentious. Former MI5 chief Ken McCallum publicly stated in 2023 that China had engaged in sustained espionage on a pretty epic scale. Yet, the government's current approach to China has drawn sharp criticism, with the Liberal Democrats warning it's putting our national security at risk. They've even urged blocking the construction of a new Chinese embassy in London, fearing it could enable industrial-scale espionage. So what's the truth? Was evidence withheld to protect diplomatic relations with China, or is this a bureaucratic oversight? And why wasn't China explicitly labeled a threat during the alleged offenses? These questions linger, leaving room for heated debate. What do you think? Is this a case of political maneuvering, or are there legitimate reasons behind the collapse? Let's discuss in the comments. Your take could be the missing piece to this puzzle.